So, it seems like every time somebody dies, there has to be bad takes. And we got two of them for you that are pretty trash. Let's start off with the soon to be coming out Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, who is really making me wish that they just kept Marvel around and just had Jude Law play him, and just that's it. That's it. We don't need Carl Manvers. Just give me Jude Law as Marvel in the Avengers instead. Just get rid of her. Let's reshoot everything and get rid of her. I hate this woman now. Because she posts this picture of herself with a bag with her fucking name on it on Instagram saying, "Oh, I'm thinking so much about Stan Lee right now." What? No, you're not. You self-aggrandizing hooker. I just... Really? Aside from the second person we have to talk about, could there have been a worse take aside from the other guy? I can't think of one.
Not really, aside from the usual nonsense of, hey, did you know Stan Lee was an old white dude who was racist and sexist and homophobic and transphobic, the usual nonsense.
Like
that's to be expected.
It couldn't be like a shot of her in the costume and say, "I'm really looking forward to, portraying a character and trying to honor his legacy but through this character," or something along those lines. It could be something that your fucking publicist wrote. I don't care. It could have been better than this. And look, I'm obviously upset, and maybe I just said something I shouldn't have, but here's the facts. That's incredibly egotistical.
Yeah.
Because it's not about you. I'm sorry to upset you, Brie Larson, but this is not about you. Okay? This is not about you. It's about somebody else. Who, if he didn't exist, you wouldn't be poised to become the next big thing in the MCU as Kevin Feige expects you to be. Which I'm hoping you don't. Now I hope that her movie fails. Because now they're saying that apparently they are basing the Captain Marvel movie off of one of the writers who fucked up the character of Carol Danvers.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. We're getting to modern Marvel now.
Yeah.
So, just
they're proving Bob Chipman right, and that's what really gets at me.
It's funny because a buddy of mine said that he's going to be done with the MCU after the next Avengers movie.
Gonna be hard not to be. I'm gonna watch Spider-Man, and that's probably it. Honestly, unless they can do good Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But I will say this: if Marvel expects, especially with this attitude, for everybody to hop on the Captain Marvel bandwagon, I'm sorry, but no. Everybody else treats the fan base and legends properly. Chadwick Boseman does, Tom Holland does, and so on and so forth, because they say goofy things because they're actors and they're goofy people. Creative people are weird. I say that as a creative person. We're weird.
Yeah.
We're weird and we're outspoken and we're oftentimes very wrong. But but at least those guys know how to treat people with respect when they pass away. This lady, not so much. Speaking of not so much, we have one of those colossal idiots in politics, Bill Maher. Hatman. Please do me a favor and read what this dipshit said. If you have it pulled up.
I don't have it pulled up, but I'll go pull it up.
Because, I'll sum it up. He basically used the death of Stan Lee to take a dig at Donald Trump. I will say that again. He used the death of Stan Lee. He stood on the grave of Stan Lee to take a shot at Donald Trump.
All right. So blog post.
Just give us the big sentence that he had said about the dig at Trump, because that was just classless.
I don't think it's a huge stretch to suggest that Donald Trump could only get elected in a country that thinks comic books are important.
So here's the thing about Bill Maher. This is a guy who has argued against vaccination because you're putting a disease in your body. This is a guy who said that the terrorists who drove planes and killed civilians at 9/11 were brave people. This is a guy who thinks Trump Russia is a thing because. This is a guy who thinks that Horus and Christ are comparable, arguing only broad points. What was the movie he did, Religulous or whatever?
Yeah.
One of the dumbest movies I've seen, because it's one of the most poorly researched. There's a reason he did not interview Ravi Zacharias, but he interviewed Ken Ham.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the reason he didn't interview John Lennox and interviewed Ken Ham, or some other crackpot from some nowhere church, that somebody who can't even spell the word theology, let alone know what that means. Bill Maher is a quack.
How do you not understand the impact of comic books? Like,
he was in Iron Man 3!
Beyond just the entertainment value, it's writing. I mean, are you going to denigrate a writer for a movie or a TV show because it's not just purely the written word, because it's got visuals to go with it? No.
I don't think he could even read it. He's too stoned.
I mean, fucking Stan Lee wrote the words, "With great power there must also come great responsibility." That has become so ingrained in our culture, and you're going to disrespect that? Fuck you. Fuck you.
He is the walking
contrarian. He's a walking contrarian.
Well, he's the walking definition of the smug liberal.
Well, that too, yeah, absolutely.
Because this is what he's doing, is he's turning his nose up to everybody. You like comic books? Fnya.
No, fucking.
You like superheroes? Fnya.
Fucking, like, how in the holy hell can you act that fucking superior to everything else? Say, oh, comic books are just for little kids. Everybody else just grew up. It grew up and did what? Watched your show? Okay, well, maybe it would have been better to stay fucking kids. At least you'd have your goddamn brain cells.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
You could probably learn more from politics by reading Captain America than you could watching Real Time with Bill Maher.
Yeah. Even the fucking Ta-Nehisi Coates Captain America. You could probably do better with that than Real Time with Bill Maher. And that's fucking saying something.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't have Coates on to promote the book. Oh, yes. Wait. Because comics. By the way, fun fact, Bill, Ta-Nehisi Coates, who's somebody you would probably clearly enjoy the BBC from, if you know what I mean, on your own show, left writing The Atlantic, is still writing comics instead. But you smug cunt.
Fucking Exterminatus.
Execute Order 1776 on this asshole, and then we're moving on.
We have arrived, and it is now that we fulfill our charge. In fealty to the Lord our God, and by the grace of his throne, I declare Exterminatus upon whatever scumbag we're declaring Exterminatus on today. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire wherever, and consign 1,000,000 souls, maybe, to oblivion. May imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult.